My name is Nathaniel Maram. I operate the What Fur Christmas Tree Farm.
My name is Kirby Maram, co-partner in running What Fur Choose and Cut Christmas Tree Farm, and we're located on the edge of Boone, North Carolina. Our primary business is a Choose and Cut Christmas Tree Farm, and we have approximately 15 acres of Fraser fir Christmas trees. And we tend these trees all year, and then during the months of November and December, lots of children and families come here and spend hours or spend the day picking out a Christmas tree, and we have a gift shop and refreshments and a little alpaca petting zoo, and we encourage people to bring their sleds if there's snow. It's just a really fun family time. We encourage people to come up for a family tradition. A family will come and they'll go up to where the trees are that we're selling this particular year, and they go out in the field. We give them a pole, and they'll go out in the field and pick the tree that they want, the size that they want, and they wave their pole, and then we have some tree cutters, and the tree cutters will go up and cut the tree or give them the opportunity to cut the tree. We have some bow saws. You can cut your own tree if you want to. And then the tree is brought down to a netter, and the tree is netted so that when it's on its way home, it won't blow all to pieces. And then the guys that we have, usually they're anywhere from 8 to 14 people in the fields helping people with their tree choosing and their tree cutting and their netting. And we put some foam on top of the car, and then the guys will tie the trees up there. And then they send the family down here, where we are, to the Christmas shop. And in the Christmas shop, we have wreath making demonstrations, and they can watch that. And then we have the alpacas, and people pay, and they wander around the farm, and hopefully they have a family adventure. That's what we want. We consider ourselves an agritourism farm. We encourage people to come and just spend a day on the farm, and we hope that when they leave here with their tree that they've had a really happy day.
The name What Fur, actually, when we bought the farm, we bought the name with it. This was a Choose and Cut farm. It was a small farm, smaller, as far as production goes, smaller than it is now. But the person that we bought it from came up with that name, and we thought it was a wonderful name. Everybody else did too. So we bought the farm, we bought the name too. We didn't really know it was a farm. It wasn't even advertised as a farm. So we came out to look at it, and driving in the driveway, we said, after all this time, we said, this is it. About 3 hours later, Christmas trees came up. The owner would sell us the trees, or, we could work a deal with him and he'd sell them off. So we decided, hey, we can be Christmas tree farmers. And God, I don't know. That first couple of months was just, let's just say, a steep learning curve.
Considering a lot of the major Christmas tree growers have been in the industry for 30 or 40 years, Nathaniel and Kirby had a pretty steep learning curve when they got into the industry, but have really put forth the effort and have been very proactive in learning what they need to know to run an efficient Fraser fir Choose and Cut operation.
Our biggest problem this past year has been weather. We caught the remnants of 3 hurricanes up here. In fact, this may sound crazy, we had too much rain and too much water. There was, even though we're on top of the mountain, we had a lot of destruction from Ivan, which was nothing compared to what happened on downstream. And we're still in the process of, cleaning up some of that damage to the infrastructure.
If we have too much snow and too much ice, people have a problem getting here. And if we have too much sunshine, then the needles don't set. And so every year you hope for the perfect weather. The perfect weather is cold, a little bit of snow so people can come up and see the snow, maybe enough snow so they can sled, because we encourage people to bring their sleds and sled down the hill. Not so much so that people down in Charlotte and Raleigh and Wilmington think, oh, I can't drive up there. Jim Hamilton is our extension agent, and he comes out here and helps us, and he's always here. Hardly 2 weeks go by that he doesn't come out and see if there's something that we need. And at Christmas time, he actually makes wreaths that we sell in our shop as a sideline. So he really is a hands-on person. So this past year, I had him in my wreath shop making wreaths for, people who were here to view wreath making. All of the extension agents have been up here to help us on our farm, and we couldn't have done it without them. We wouldn't have been nominated in the first place if it wasn't for Jim Hamilton.
Well, I'm seeing more and more of it up here. The guy on the other side of the hill's got it. As an extension agent, it's been really easy to work with Nathaniel and Kirby, just because they're such good, nice people. I have to fight them off to keep from being offered a meal every time I go up there. So they've really been great to work with. They're such good, genuine people, and really take a lot of pride in their farm, and they're very interested in their farm. And that kind of enthusiasm boils over into my job as well. And when certain opportunities come up, they're the kind of people who I've kept my ear open for and kept my eye out for projects or grants or other types of opportunities that I know they'd be interested in. And because they are so easy to work with and are so accessible, it's made my job here as an agent really easy.
We have several ways that we advertise the farm. And one of the ways that's proved to be really valuable to us is a website. And we had a local person who set it up for us, and have lots of photos on the website and information about the farm, information about Christmas trees, and how we are environmentally friendly and all of that. And it turned out that our particular website has gotten a lot of attention. People say it's beautiful and wonderful, and I would say we had maybe 6,000 people to hit on our site, if that's what you say, in a 2-month period. And people came up here and said, that website, that's wonderful. So it's been a really important part of our advertising.
What Fir Tree Farm is a certified IPM farm, which IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management, and what that entails is scouting for insects before there's a problem, trying to identify pests in the field throughout the year.
Typical problems for a Christmas tree grower usually has to do with diseases to the trees or insect damage. And this is where extension comes in really valuable to make sure that the problem doesn't get out of hand.
There used to be, before this was developed, people used to go out and just load up a tank or backpacks and just go spray for everything, whether it was there or not.
What Fir Tree Farm uses only very limited chemical applications when it's absolutely necessary. They've incorporated a lot of ground covers, natural ground covers, to prevent erosion and runoff of chemical and agricultural pesticides into the stream. Their farm actually sits on one of the headwaters for the new river, so this kind of management is really key. The ground covers that they use, like mustard, for example, produce yellow flowers, and yellow flowers attract more predatory insects, and therefore they're able to maintain a degree of biological control on the farm, which reduces many times the need for chemical application. And their trees look great.
Nathaniel and I are involved in 2 different choose and cut committees. One is the North Carolina Christmas Tree Association. This association actually represents tree growers all over the state of North Carolina. And the Choose and Cut Committee, of course, represents the Choose and Cut growers all over North Carolina. And we go to trade shows and talk about trees. And one of the ones that we do, the Choose and Cut Committee does, is the Southern Christmas Show every year for 10 days. And we try to educate people about Christmas trees in North Carolina. Both Nathaniel and I work hard to get the word out about Christmas trees, and especially about the Choose and Cut farms. Nathaniel, with some help, is able to keep up the farm equipment. We've got 3 tractors here, and we have, we have a whole equipment shed full of implements that help us to run this farm. And Nathaniel also built the house and built the barn, and does the landscaping, all of that. So it's really helpful to have a husband who is able to do all of these tasks in helping to run the farm too.
6 years ago, I never would have thought about farming. I would have thought about it's too much work. But I love to play in the dirt. Being here, being in nature, being with, like we've got here. Kirby says this is paradise. We've got ponds up here, we've got Christmas trees, we've got woods. We're sitting on a mountaintop, and we get to work the land, and it supports us. You couldn't have it any better. So as far as farming goes, right now I couldn't even think about doing anything else.
I really feel that the MaramMarams embody those farmland stewardship principles that the small farmer of the year seeks to reward with their IPM practices, with the water quality mitigation measures that they have in place, with their involvement in agritourism, promotion in the county, and their active participation in the local and state associations, and just their interest. I can't think of a more deserving farm for this award.
We feel honored about this award. But the best way I can put it is Kirby and I are the face of this award. Extension is the body of this award. We wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be successful on this farm were it not for Extension. And I cannot praise those people enough. It's been sometimes an humbling experience to walk into something you know absolutely nothing about, and all these people stick their hands out and say, "We'll help," and they do help. I'm about to choke up on this a little bit, but there are no words for what these people do, and they do it unselfishly. Every one of them do it unselfishly. I know they get paid for their jobs, but they go way beyond their job description. And it's hard to say how much we do appreciate that. We will plant seedlings this year that I'll harvest when I'm 70, 72, 73 years old. And, everything goes well, I'll be out there harvesting.